Oh, am I live? Hi, I'm Leather Rock, and welcome to my channel. This is Garfield, the street cat. He's not mine, but I borrow him now. And um, I didn't even know for sure that it went live successfully because you probably know I've been having some technical problems with my dear computer, and people have been helpful to me. They have been suggesting certain fixes, and most of them involve either looking at videos and following a detailed procedure, or else they actually tell me pretty much what it entails. And sometimes I feel like either there's a risk that if I screw up, I could totally erase my data, which I don't want to do, especially considering that I haven't yet. There's another backup I want to do involving this 6 terabyte job here. I have been, because we know that YouTube cannot be trusted. Okay, I'll set you down. Oh, by the way, yeah, YouTube can't be trusted. It can take down our stuff at any time it wants. Garfield right now, here, I want you to see something. Garfield has been eating turkey. They make a fucking liar out of me. Fat, hairy bastard. Eating sliced turkey that, yeah, had some white rice attached to it. But I'm watching you. You know what? I might not keep him for too much longer because actually, this is right now. I'm doing this, as you probably know. It's 4:23 in the morning. This is actually the third time I've come looking for him tonight. And you know what? It looks to me like maybe he wants to go bye-bye. So I'll tell you what. Why don't you? You know what? No. Whoops. I'm trying to think. How the hell do I do this? No. I don't think I better try. He is such a big cat. If it was Cassie, I could have done this. It is 4:23 in the morning. Hello, you. Hello, you. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You know, if I could get them to speak English, I would have asked them, did you urinate and defecate before I picked you up? Meow, meow. I hope that wasn't no. You learn not to squeeze their little tummies. Or big tummies, is this case maybe. But he's starting to show me a little bit of scratching me with his claws. Just a little bit. He's been digging some, you know. Yeah, you can. Because kitties have claws, don't you? I don't want you passing gas because, I don't, wait, what's that? Everybody see how cute you look together. If I had that school bus already, trust me, I'd just scoop you up. I wouldn't ask the neighbors. But oh, before I go, because see what I was going to try to do is I was going to try to carry the computer with one hand and the cat in the other. Yes, he is big. And I was going to try to carry him to one of the exits and let you watch me let him go. I found out some juicy gossip about my nemesis, or one of my many, I guess, nemesis. I don't have many nemesis, but I have this one particular thorn in my side that there's a situation where there's this place where you can go, and if you're willing to stand in line, you can get some free groceries. And I don't need to tell any of you guys, unless you're rich and don't give a fuck. Groceries are more expensive now than they were even last year. He's very calm. But when he runs away from me, I fucking hate that. But what? Ow! He just poked my thumb. I'm probably bleeding right now. He likes these. Anybody knows about this thing called Temptations cat treats? And they really are. I've never had a kitty since they've been invented that didn't like them. And even though my cats, Tabby Boy and Cassie, and then Ace, and then a session of cats before them have all passed on, I still have some kitty treats left. And I probably have a few more cans of cat food here, even though I've given him some. But I prefer to actually stretch out, give meat that, while not a substitute for cat food, is still okay for them, especially if it's not if they get enough cat food so they get the taurine in their diet. You know what? I wish this wasn't so big. I want to showcase this. This is another one of my finds. And I saw the unicorn thing, and more importantly, I thought the colors were really interesting. And I wish you could feel this. It's really soft. It feels, I don't know quite what the material is. It feels like velvet, but not quite as heavy. And feels almost like that light, that cuddly blanket material, but even lighter weight than that. And it's got fringes on it, but it's large. So unfortunately, or actually, no, I don't know. It's technically a children's top, but it's their children. It's an extra large, and I don't know if it's a Cat and Jack. That's a really great children's clothes brand, by the way. I think they're from Target or something, but and I've never bought their clothes. I've only found them, and I discovered that children's medium. It's a little kitty shirt, fits me really well, and I love the graphics on that brand. If that means I have little kitty taste, which I don't think I do, but I like the bright colors, and so also she turned out has been this woman who comes here. She stakes out a place early. She has a car. She parks literally across the street from this place. She gets three placeholder like milk crates or something, and she hangs out here. And she goes back to her car, or she goes and drives around. And she comes back like 3, 4 hours later, and then she checks on things. Then she leaves again, and she comes back. She saves three places. The doors open at 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and she comes out of there because she ends up being in the front of the line. She comes out of there with enough to open herself a little store. Well, and I have taken to walking around the wee hours looking for him. Number one, number two, I find any placeholders and I hide them because I could be a little bitch too. I mean, she and I got into it verbally, and I had to walk away because I was afraid my tongue would get me in trouble. Because she's uppity person who is the exact opposite of me, demographics wise, and she is older than me and has her gray hair pulled back or afros pulled back so tight that it is straight, and then she, I think, hot combs it straight, and she always makes sure that she wears different clothes each time. Which, hey, I know I have no room to talk that regards, but I wear different clothes and stuff because I want to impress you guys on YouTube. I don't go out of my way to glam it up for this line. Anything, I usually wear sweats and I put my hair in a hoodie. I try not to be on display for lots of reasons. Uh-oh, Garfield just walked out. What's up, baby? What's up, baby? You know what? I think I have a little kitty issue. So you want to come with me? Come with me while we have a kitty issue. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. You want to see everybody see you? Want to see everybody see you? Everybody see you? Do. Come here. Okay. Now I sure don't want you going in my grow room with all those bags of clothes and stuff. Here, you won't knock over the guitars. Come on. I think it's time for you to go. Yes, I know this is messy, but I know this is a weird place to put things. But you know what? All these guitars, you know how much it would cost to set them all up and stuff this violin? All the work it needs done, the bow needs to be replaced. I got a funny bright blue screen. When someone who takes more than they need is up to no good. That's right. Okay, now I've got some weird things that are in front of my screen. Behind the black thing is a white thing that has something that says "Welcome to," and then it says a Dell thing. Maybe I accidentally hit something when the cat went down there. Wait, getting back to that crazy woman. She lives in Pleasantville. She takes a whole bunch of stuff and distributes it to people in Pleasantville. Now, while on one hand it seems like a Robin Hood situation of taking from a situation, distributing it to others, and I applaud anybody that helps hungry and homeless people. I do that too. I have my favorite homeless friends and I share things with them. So maybe it's pot calling kettle black. But the thing is, this area here has a lot of hungry and homeless people. If you knew all the junkies and things that come here that still don't know about the food resources here. Just today, a woman showed up here after time that a microwave would do, so the woman would have something to eat. Because, there's no excuse. Plenty of food, and so much food gets thrown out all the time, and people don't need to starve. But that token, the same token, this woman here taken from all of us. I thought I don't know anything about her life except that she is real loud mouthed, and a lot of times she brings a little boom box, one of those little tube speaker things, to blast gospel music, real loud, obnoxious gospel music like I sometimes have to hear on Sunday mornings, except this stuff doesn't have a choir that's off key because it's actual recording. But anyway, she just gets up my ass like a hemorrhoid that won't quit. And I like taking things away, but you can use anything as a placeholder. One good thing about this week, the other person that lives with me, he is away in a hotel this week. He left this afternoon. I'll have the house just to me and my mother for this week. And that's nice. That means I'll be able to film pretty much more freely than I was, meaning that other stairwell. So when we get nice loud church services, I could treat you guys to it, get a little ambiance. So yeah. Now, whether or not I'm going to join that line this morning, I don't know. Right now, I've got my hands full with a kitty. This is a cold area here. It's cold enough during the wintertime that it doubles as a second refrigerator, and you could put things like root vegetables in it. And it takes a nice longer time to get to them. I found out that trying to put them in the sealed metal containers is not a good idea because the root vegetables sweat and get moldy and disgusting and have to be thrown out. So that's not a good place for them. No, getting back to that terrible place this morning. Oh, what I want to do, since I have less stress being the asshole's not going to be here this week, I got the first of my 2 new packages of beads today for my hair, and they're kind of okay. But the thing is, it was a package of multicolored beads, and the primary color was yellow. And I really don't want any yellow beads in my hair. I'm still not sure exactly what colors. None of these beads really rocked my socks. So I'm thinking maybe I'll go uptown there's this one place that sells hair products of different kinds, and it's only like a mile and a half away. And I think they might have 99-cent or dollar bags of beads, and maybe I'll find something. I want things that are lightweight that I can put in my hair, and that, say, if I'm someplace where I have to get weighed because I'm getting medical care, it's not going up the scale much. So I don't want heavy beads. Good morning, Richard. Am I planning to changing up your hair? Well, the last braid of beads, the beads came out today, and I was waiting to put new beads in, partly because I was trying to figure out what my color scheme would be for some packing that I am thinking of doing. And I want my beads to match my clothes and look really good. And I know the easy way out would be to just put them purple. And that way it would be almost like a neutral color because they would match my hair and they would go with everything. As long as it seems to me, almost as long as everything seems to match, they look be fine. They go with everything. But um, oh, you know what? I hope I'm not screwing things up with you guys. I'm clicking on something to maybe get rid of this other square that's in front. Okay, good. I could see a little bit more of my screen here. This rectangle is really driving me crazy. Anyway, no, I just want to add beads to my hair again, and I want to put beads. Well, that's the thing is that will clash with green, and I'm not going to be wearing very much blue in my wardrobe. I'm thinking I'll be wearing a little bit of green in case there's cannabis related events, 420 kind of events or something. I definitely will be wearing purple, pink, fuchsia, that thing, and the wee little bit of red, white, and blue. But I don't want to. If I wore nothing but red, white, and blue beads, that would kind of feel clashing for when I was wearing purple or when I was wearing green or something like that. I'm going to be, I might be wearing, I know I will be wearing a number of tie dyes, and some of them might be rainbow, some of them may be more blue purple scheme, but I don't want to. It's a shame that rainbow is such a stigma that certain groups think that they've kind of co-opted the rainbow. Because one great thing about rainbow, the rainbow in its concept, if say I could only have, and the skirt would mean that I could obviously mix and match tops with that. And if you want to have something that goes with everything, you would arguably six colors in a rainbow. Then the seven could be either a black or a white skirt. Okay, say eight. So you have a black skirt, a white skirt, and then six colors, right? If you have one of each of those six rainbow colors, it seems to me that you much in theory match anything. Unless you want to go with, okay, what do you do with pink, even though that could probably be with purple. But anyway, that's the great thing about having a rainbow accessory. So if you wear something with a rainbow, then in theory you can match that with anything. But now you have to be so careful where you're wearing them, because unless it's a hippie scene, people can be really confused. And if you're in a rock and roll scene that skews extremely straight, and you are single, you don't want to turn off the people that you might want to attract. So that's the thing. So we're throwing rainbows in would probably not be possible, at least as far as beads go. And it's so ridiculous. Even though I'm wondering if instead of them being flat colors, if they were iridescent, maybe that would make it okay. Like if you make it Lisa Frank, which I like. See, that's my kind of world. The Technicolor Lisa Frank, where it gets very iridescent, very pearlescent, and glittery. Glitter without the mess. Okay, I don't know. There's a chance the signal might cut off. Now, I want you to see, and this is going to look really messy. Part of this is to make more of a barricade to discourage people from trying to break in. If this looks like nothing, then people won't be trying to break it. Look who's here. Look who's here. Really what's up? So I'm going to do my best to not turn this off. And I'm going to. Okay, baby. All right. You want to go bye bye? All right, go bye bye. He went bye bye. He went bye bye. Hey, what? Goodbye. Goodbye. Say goodbye. Did you go bye? Where you going? Can you see this? Bye bye. Bye bye. He went bye bye. He went bye bye. And I guess I'm going in and hopefully everything stupid. That's well, it is what it is. Sometime this week, the landlords are going to fix some things around here. This place. It's funny when code enforcement was here a couple of days ago. Not here specifically, but actually, they were next door because apparently there were some messes that were uh, bad enough that enough neighbors complained that they were eyesores. So code enforcement found some people sleeping next door in there's a duplex and half of it's rented out by a family and the other half is abandoned. I don't want to call it a squat because when I think of squats, I've lived in squats before, and a squat is a building that just happens to be empty that you have moved into because you need shelter. And it might very well be swept out and neat. It could have the utilities, it could have hot and cold running water, it could have carpets, it might even have a few pieces of furniture, it could have a refrigerator that you could actually get food and stock it. So if that's the case, why wouldn't you keep it clean, not fuck it up, aside from maybe a little bit of clutter that happens when you spread out your clothes, which can happen. But there's no need for it to be disgusting. But from what I understand, this was disgusting, had trash all over the place, had needles and crack pipes and used condoms, and people urinated and defecated in it, and did all kinds of things that you do not do in on the floors of your home. There's no need to destroy. See, this is where a lot of homeless people fuck up. They destroy the things around them. And I know you people know I'm no good housekeeping myself, But the thing is, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with um, trying to take care of the sleeping lady in the next room. I'm overwhelmed because I'm trying to protect my things. And the thing is, for a while there, I remember when I was thinking it would be so nice if I had more stability on the West Coast and I could start shipping some of the things that I have back, bagged up and boxed up and ship things back there for safekeeping. But if I can't even keep both of my storages, then I can't. And if I can't rely on people that I know back there to pave the way for me, I sure as hell can't do that. So, and when I told my mother the other day that I was going to be shipping some things back from the West Coast to here, and she's telling me, what the hell are we going to do with them? I said, excuse me, we can't have it both ways. If I need to empty out a storage unit, I have 2 units and I got to put as much into, I got to look through and empty the detritus, how do you say that, out of each one. When you have, every time you have earthquakes, things settle. There are things I've been looking for decades. I have a pair of red shoes. One of my frenemies calls Daisy Duck shoes. They're red. They have round toes. They have stovetop heels, and the heels are high. I hope I can still wear them. They're like a full 4-inch heel. And he says they look like something that one of the Disney characters would wear. So he calls them my Daisy Duck shoes. And they have a little platform too. They have like a 1-inch platform. And he scooped up just a little bit. And they're cute as hell. And I lost them in one of my storages. And how you lose something in a storage unit that starts from here and it goes up, I mean, it just doesn't seem possible. But I did. It settled down into one of the lower levels, and I am going to find these damn things. And I guess I'm going to have to stick them, my foot in them, and see how I feel about that instep. Because I have a real hard time with doing that thing, because I have this issue that this hurts sometimes. Or actually, sometimes it aches all the time. But, it's like I was a stage dancer for a, a while, and I really put my body through a beating because so many of the dancers weren't really serious dancers, and they didn't give a fuck, and they weren't trying to impress anybody, and they weren't trying to burn calories, and like I said, they weren't trying to impress anybody. It's like, why be on stage if you're not trying to impress people? That makes no sense, especially when you're in Hollywood. Don't you think about Holly when you think of Hollywood? Don't you think of showbiz? Don't you think of excellence? Don't you think of the people who are multidisciplinarians? They're actors. They also may be singers. Maybe they play an instrument. Maybe they're models. Maybe they're painters. Maybe they're dancers. Maybe there's so many people that are multi-talented. You can't just do one thing. And if you're over 25, you're doubly screwed, and the older you are, the less visible you are, or they try to force you to tone it down because they think that you're not wanted, or they think that people can't handle it, or there's just so many things, and there's things go that are beyond your control, that are beyond everybody's control. But that said, all I know is I need to consolidate my storage. I need to get as much out of there, because if I can have one storage unit, cut my rent in half. And so my mother's going to bitch that I'm sending things here. Well, you can't have it both ways. If you can't afford the rent, so things that could have to be sent back here, you know. And then when I finally get my school bus and have it have the seats taken out, and I wanted to uh, make part of it a blank wall so that I could do my film, my turnaround thing, and then I was going to have some space for Marshall stacks and music stuff. I'm starting to rethink things in the interest of maybe saving time, and maybe thinking of some practicalities of things. Maybe if I allow some space for boxes of things like clothes specifically, since furniture would be heavy. And the thing is that with clothes, I don't have enough clear boxes or things to store clothes. Now you're saying I'm fit and attractive. Thank you. I need to lose a good 15 pounds. I have seriously put on weight this year. I was looking at myself when I do a bare minimum. I can pinch 2 inches. I got. This is not good. Yes, you may think this is fit, and if people tell me I'm triggering their eating disorders, hello. How's about the people who are thin, who are proud of it? What about, don't we have feelings too? The body acceptance means all bodies, not just the fat one. And if I offend anybody, I don't care because nobody cares how we feel. I remember going to dinner with some. It was at a Kiss Expo. It was in years 2008, and I was with 3 other women. And one of them, she was let herself go, didn't give a damn about what she looked like. Matter of fact, she asked me why I looked this way, and she and I never saw eye to eye. And I finally had to delete her and block her because she was just a person who complained about how miserable she was in life, and she didn't do anything about it. And it's like, if I don't like certain things about my life, such as drugs or alcohol, I quit them. Problem solved. If I don't like my hair color, if I'm bored by it, I dye it. Problem solved. If it's flat and boring, I let it get curly or I braid it up. Problem solved. Or I tease it up. People bitch about their lives and they do nothing about it. And then they have the nerve to look at me and laugh at me because I do things differently. Maybe conformity is not my style. Well, what if this is a crazy guy that I was going to call the cops on? There was a guy just before I went live. There was a guy screaming and dancing and crazy Rasta looking guy with the big dreads, but he was shaking his groove thing, whatever. And if he continues to be crazy, let me see where he is. Maybe you'll get treated to a musical performance by him. Let me see. Because I'm feeling just a little bit mischief in the wee hours. Okay. You know what? I'm going to try to lift this up. I want you guys to see this. I'm going to see if I have something big enough to. I need a tall hard. Oh, yeah. You guys got to see it. I'm a little mischief maker. You might not know that about me because I'm not a troublemaker, but yeah, sometimes you gotta see something. Especially, and if anybody thinks I'm being mean to somebody that's cuckoo, well, you know what? Just because you're insane or you're on hardcore drugs or something doesn't mean that you get a carte blanche excuse to disrupt people and their stuff. And I am technically trying to make a live broadcast after all. So don't I have rights? If you guys are watching me, don't you have rights to see me and hear me and not be interrupted? So therefore, I should be bad for making fun of this Joker's expense. Okay. Okay. I gotta find something taller than this because will this be it? Yeah. Uh, the last thing I want is for my computer to fall out the window. Okay. Now, I gotta see, first of all, if he's actually out there. And I don't want my braids to get in on the edge of the thing because, And I also don't want this to chop my head off. There's a chance I could do a Marie Antoinette in front of you. No, I don't want to take that chance. I'm going to see if he's still out there. You know what? I don't see him. Okay, well, no Marie Antoinette. Uh, but anyway, getting back to the fit and attractive thing, I miss being a hardcore fitness person. And actually, some of my earlier YouTube videos, I was doing fitness stuff, including using cats as weights while I was running in place. Admittedly, that was more of a comedy video than a serious fitness video because obviously you have to have proper form. And sometimes the things that look the best on camera aren't necessarily going to do you a damn bit of good. But anyway, I wish this was smaller. I think it would be too much trouble to try to take it in because it's like it's too big, too wide here. But anyway, I thought this was pretty groovy. But now I was thinking of a shirt to have for when those obnoxious churches are going on at night, and I want to run something past you here. Let's see. I hope I. Okay, yeah, I found it. Okay. This is probably going to offend some people. I hope this is. Wait. Not to. Oh, wait a minute. I think this is the wrong bag. See, I have to protect my t-shirts from different things. And plus, what if the roof fall caves in and everything comes down, like what happened next door? I've been protecting clothes and bags, and I have duffel bags and containers for these. Uh, maybe I. Oh, ah, thought that I would have wanted to show this off. I hung it up. Uh, no, I can't find the shirt I was looking for. But let me show you the latest thing that I did score outside last week. This is, and this is another. Yeah, this did I show you this already? It's from established 1989 or a 1989 or place. Is that what it's called or whatever? Anyway, this is definitely. I have the perfect skirt for this. See, so I have socks that are red and white. I have socks that are blue with white stars. I have red, white, and blue socks. Uh, so I also have red skirts, and I don't even have to dig out. I have one of the things I love to use to store clothes in are rice bags. If you get a sack like the 25-pound sacks, the 20 pounds minimum, you can get away with a 10-pound rice sack if it has a zipper on it. There's a brand of rice called Zebra brand that has a 10-pound sack that has a loop on it. And I've carried it, I bought that twice, and you can carry that as a handbag if you're wearing a zebra striped outfit, especially if it has a little bit of red in it, because there's a little bit of red on the bag. And I think I may have in a very early video, I think I may have shown this bag. But rice bags are really great for storing clothes in. And then if they don't have a zipper, depending on how much room there is, you can use a giant rubber band to seal them. You can use a belt to seal them and just roll up your clothes and put them in there. And you can use, obviously, like, just use them to organize your clothes and then stash them somewhere and hope they don't just fall down on the ground. Anyway, there was this the shirt I'm looking for is a Hail Satan shirt, and it has a unicorn on it, and I got it on wish.com last year, a couple years ago. And the only time I wore it was to oh, thank you. Yeah, I have what color tutus do I have now? I have a gray tutu. You're probably talking about a pink tutu. I have a white tutu that's really a bit voluminous that I got at a Life in Color, the paint parties where you dress in white and they shoot the paint on you and stuff. And these little rich kids, they're going on their parents' dime to these things. And when the club's out, they throw their clothes on the ground. And that's how I got my green hoodie. It's a Gap brand hoodie, which I don't care about brands for the most part. If something fits me and it looks good, I like it. Occasionally I might be impressed by a brand. Like if I find something and I find out that it's a genuine designer and it fits and it's something I love, great. But there's a lot of things that designers that I think are ugly. And if I don't like something, I don't wear it. Or I might wear something ugly one time just to get a use out of it, just so I have an outfit for something and then get rid of it. There's a few things I've worn on videos here that I don't necessarily love, but I gave it a shot. And maybe the colors ultimately were ugly and I gave them away. There was a video that I shot in my cat's grave that I ended up giving away because it was the colors were orange and brown, and I'm really not an earth tone person, and it was my mom thought it was very ethnic, and ethnic meaning ethnic, not my ethnicity. But that's not the point because I don't care if I like something, I'll wear it, despite whatever original ethnicity is. I think beauty's beauty, and that's it. But if something doesn't really work for me, especially if it's an unusual silhouette and a length that I don't normally wear, then I don't need a whole lot of items like that. It'd be better for me to wear it once or twice and then give it on, you know. And if I could just, and plus, I'm things that I'm realizing are so large that they're not flattering. Like this, if I don't tie this up, this is not looking flattering. This is really bothering the hell out of me. I have a purple thing somewhere, a round thing that they sold for T-shirts that would make them tighter. But the thing is, the fabric would need to be gathered back here. You know, a chip clip would be good. At model shoots, sometimes they have this thing. Well, like if you've ever watched that say yes to the dress, they have these clips. They look like chip bag clips, and you clip dresses back so it looks tighter. But still, when you turn it around, then you see that thing. You know, I'm afraid if I use a giant safety pin, I'm gonna end up making holes in it and hurt this. So because it's so large, I'm tempted to, I don't know how long I'm going to have it. But that said, there's so much cool about it. But also that said, it is oversized. I don't want to grow into these clothes, and I have to lose that 15 pounds. And what we would do was if I went back to the workout schedule like I did before. It used to be, I found out because we have our Comcast cable system starting at 6 a.m. There's this guy, Milad Jankowicz. He is out of either Israel or Hawaii. He has a fitness. I don't know what exactly it's called now because it had a few different names, but he is a personal trainer and he makes videos and he's on the internet. And I think there's probably retreats where you could go work out at his whatever. I don't know. But anyway, I discovered him and he was on a network called JLTV and which we don't even get anymore because we bounced down a level from our cable thing to save some money, so we have less channels, which kind of sucks in a way. But you know what? The programming that we lost isn't that great a loss because as long as I have my news and my weather and certain uh, feel good TV networks, and I would, what I would hate to lose besides, of course, losing Fox News Channel. That would really suck, and we did lose it for a while. And the thing is, I still got my news on the internet. As long as you have an internet connection, you could make up for a lot of things that you don't have with cable. Because you can still get, when we lost our cable completely for a year, we didn't have cable. My mother was able to get news snippets on demand with Comcast, gives you using YouTube on your TV, gives you little 2 and 3 minute videos that are basically excerpts of the major news networks, even though not too many from Fox News Channel. There's so much anti-right bias in so many utilities, and a a communications entity is utility. If you are something like Comcast and you can have a triple play, it'll govern people's cell phone. Well, in our cases, landline, cable TV, and internet, then you are a utility and people are dependent on you. And we don't, it's not like we have a whole lot of choices. We don't have 10 different ways that we can get cable, for instance. Yes, there are people might decide to use a streaming service instead or a number of streaming services in order to get the variety that they're getting from cable. But then there's this thing if people are dealing with cell phones and they're dealing with data and stuff, and that's getting a little bit overwhelming and confusing for me because since I've never had a cell phone. But yeah, these companies are essentially utilities. And then when they have a political bias that is discriminatory against half the country and they're allowed to get away with it. It's like I have a friend that lives in Washington, D.C., and his building, he has cable. For some reason, they have all the liberal networks, but no Fox News. And it's like, how can that not be offered and every other network is? How can you have CNN and not Fox? I don't understand. He has CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, all this Gene and Joe, who knows who, but no Fox. Oh, and they have a Fox affiliate, but that's not the same thing as a Fox News channel. So if he wanted to get exposed to other points of view, and of course they don't have One American News or Newsmax or anything else that would get him a broader worldview. And he's one of these guys that's all pro-Palestinian, pro-Palestinian. I try to tell him about the terrible things that happen in Israel. And then he, like so many other people, says, oh, but they've been fighting for thousands of years. I said, I'm not talking about what happened for the past couple of thousand years or 5,000 years or however long it is. I'm talking about what happened October 7th. October 7th. And if you can look me in the eye and say that was not genocide, that those weren't disgusting, horrific things perpetrated to wipe out a people, first terrorize them, then the ultimate goal of wiping them out, because they said they would not stop. And we still have hostages there, and they have hostages there, and they're trying, so many people are trying to browbeat our adult president into trying to tell Netanyahu, oh, go easy on the Palestinians, do a ceasefire. It's okay to give them billions of dollars and get maybe 10 hostages home at a time. Come on. And you know what happens to the women that that are hostages? Debut 29. This is off topic, but I'd love to know about some of the music you listen to in another video. Okay, well, as far as now, music I listen to, up until like 5 years ago, I was listening to a lot of rock and metal and classical and stuff. Now I'm actually trying to actively avoid music unless absolutely necessary, except for like something that I heard years and years and years ago, and I don't want to get exposed to too much music because I don't want it to interfere with the music that I have in my head. And you can get earworms. One of the things that really annoys me is the commercials on TV. And a lot of them have snippets of songs that just get earworms that are stuck in you. Like one of the things that's getting on my nerves now is the flash dance theme that they're using that. Now it was cute when they had the Jason Momoa commercial for I guess T-Mobile. I thought that was very clever with the dancing and stuff, and then the cameo with Jessica Biel. I thought that was great. And anytime Jason Momoa takes his shirt off, I don't think too many people are going to complain about that, right? Plus, I heard he's a nice guy and he's a family guy and everything. So he's going to get these sponsorships and these endorsements because he never had any scandal attached to him. Probably never made a PG-13 rated YouTube video like yours truly. But anyway, I hate when music gives me earworms and I get these melodies which are just annoying me and it gets stuck in my head. And I have my own musical ideas and I don't want to hear, like, I hate when I'm on the boardwalk and you pass by certain t-shirt shops and they're playing radio stations that blast current hip hop, rap, and pop music. And that stuff has these catchy hooks that get stuck in your head. And I don't want to hear those chord progressions. I don't want to hear that the vocal stylistics where you obviously were raised in the church and I don't want to hear please stop it, stop your warbling. Occasionally, yes, I'll hear something that's clever and is talented. And obviously, I would like to think that you have to have talent in order to be there to have your music recorded and disseminated on these record deals and all that. But really, when you are an independent person with your own ideas, that when your project is finally out there, maybe it will uh, get disseminated to the masses. You don't want in the creation process to be influenced by this current stuff. I don't want these influences. I want, if anything, I want to be the influencer. It's just like all these people that they end up with a stylist that helps them to pick clothes and stuff. I will be damned if I'm going to have somebody assign me a stylist to help me pick clothes. If I can find clothes, I can pick clothes. Now, things like tailoring, yes, person can always have help with that. I can't control the sizes of the clothes I acquire. I'm on a low budget, which is most of the time a no budget. I find the things that I need. I'm trying to purge what I really don't need, partly because you don't have all that much room for it, partly because you want to share. I'd like to sell some things. Again, anybody wants to buy this, I would be very, very happy to let go of this. It's not particularly lightweight. I mean, it is lightweight, I think, because I'm a strong person, but to keep moving it from apartment to apartment to apartment, and plus, if I stick it in my school bus when I buy it, that's going to be an additional weight. And people keep on advising me the more heavy things you have in it, the heavier it's going to be to fuel up and stuff. And again, that's going to cost me more money, and money is one thing I don't have. I have very little of it. Oh, I am. You want to hear a ghetto move? No, actually, no. I will save this for a video. Right? I don't want to wear out all my video subjects on my live stream. That's the thing is during my live stream, I talk about so many different things. I could end up ruining video ideas for myself. And since I'm committed to this daily uh, production, if I have to do a lot of batch recording so that I have videos for you guys. And if I don't do that, I would totally burn out because how would I have time to do anything good, especially if I had to film and record every day and I had to make sure that, first of all, my makeup is perfect and I'm dressed nice and my hair looks fine and I've got accessories and, like I a lot of times forget a detail. Like, guess what? I'm only wearing one bracelet. That's a detail I screwed up on. But, I like to try to be as prepared and as detail oriented as possible. If you don't batch record, it's hard to cover all the bases, even though when you're batch recording, sometimes you forget and you don't change up your accessories and things. Or sometimes I will get lazy and I'll decide to keep the stockings on because I'll figure that as long as I'm wearing outfits where things nothing clashes, I figure I can get away with it. And since who knows when I don't always post in the order that I told things. Sometimes I do because it makes sense to do so. Other times I don't do that because I think that it's important to give a couple of days time between uh, similar subjects just to keep a balance. But then other times when you film things, they have to be consecutive because it's like there's a part one and a part two. I was going to do this probably a lot later, but you know what? It's 5:12 in the morning, and I don't want to ruin future video ideas. And it's so tempting to just throw out all these things. But I might go and get beats, and it might be today. I mean, why not, right? Because first of all, the store I'm thinking of going to is open today. They're closed on Sundays because they're run by these Asians who are born again Christian, and I know that because they play a Christian radio station that is not like a gospel, like downstairs kind of thing, but it sounds very Asian, so it's very nice and whatever. But anyway, their prices are were low, and if they still have the dollar beads, and if they're nice. And because the thing is, I love doing the online ordering thing, but there's the waiting for the shipping. And you're also kind of taking a chance because a lot of times packages look a little bit bigger than what you're getting. But you know, people are talking a bunch of shit about uh, companies like Timu and Wish on Facebook. People are saying because they Kim Commando said something warning about the app. And I said, well, you don't need to use the app. If you want to buy from a certain company, go on, say you're talking about Temu, Temu.com. Go on the site. Matter of fact, if you're, I would put it, use if you're on a non computer, choose the desktop version of the site. Don't use the app. Make your damn order. You'll get free shipping, you'll get low prices. And as far as people saying, oh, if you don't mind buying from China, well, guess what? If you're making more than minimum wage in this country, and minimum wage keeps on going up, then you can afford to pay retail. Go for it. If you're making less than the lowest wage African person, if you're making pennies an hour, and you're working and you I mean all your income streams on the internet because you can't very well go out play guitar outside because the cops are up people's asses again. I keep on thinking I like to go out there because occasionally we had a couple of really good days, but to have them give you a ticket because you don't have a mercantile license, and why the hell would I spend upwards of $300 on a local mercantile license? Well, I don't want to spend another year here trying to being out there being abused by sicko people, and you have all these aggressive panhandlers that get all your money because they say, "You have a dollar? You have a cigarette?" to the people coming out of the casinos. And so I'm thinking, I want to take advantage of this week that the other person is not living here. You see, so much of why I don't get more things done is because I have to wait for him to leave before I can do things. I never know when he's going to go. And even though sometimes he has been known to get careless and leave some weed in the kitchen, and that's really wonderful when that happens. But oh yeah, speaking of weed, one of my acquaintances who um, provides the neighborhood with marijuana and other things, he said, "Leather, I have some weed for you." Or maybe as you watch my latest live stream, he gave me weed yesterday, and isn't that a groovy thing? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Well, take my word for it. He did. And so uh, that has helped my disposition the past 24 hours. But I found even the strongest stuff. Plus, I had a little bit of that dabs. I used this thumbnail, and somebody uh, up the street had this dabs. It's like a weird, if you've ever heard of dabs, it's like a jelly like, waxy like substance. And they had this other thing that looked like crack, but it was soft and felt like wax. But it's another kind of, I guess, distillate or something. But and he says, "Yeah," and he said, "Oh, you're not gonna have any nails because you play guitar." Uh, I need to cut my nails back again. I really haven't been playing too much. I'm just so discouraged about the music thing, in a way, because changing strings is a real hassle. I know I'm being a hypocrite. Told people I don't like to drink water, and I don't. I actually ran the tap water and put tap water in here. Our tap water is safe to drink again. Uh, oh, because of this square thing. Oh, I'm having another computer problem. Since computer woes is part of the theme of this, when I try to sign into my Hotmail, that's my primary email account. And Hotmail, once you sign in your computer, it's in your computer. When I clicked on the link to sign into my Hotmail, it said that I wasn't signed in. And all that stuff is right directly in this rectangle in the middle of my screen. And I shouldn't have to replace the driver or something. Anyway, I have a friend that's going to come over to help me figure out how to use this. Now, somebody sent into my Hotmail the user manual for this. But if I can't get in my Hotmail, I can't access the user manual. I'm going to show you guys something else. Oh, choo choo. Leather at hotmail.com. Leather, my name. I got a new email address for my for the Apple thing, but I haven't tried to access it yet. Uh, and now I have a Gmail account, the Odin's Backlash thing, but I'm at 74% of capacity, and they're warning me that I need to make deletions. And the thing is, I have a whole lot of pictures and video that they try to say that it's unlimited storage space in your Gmail. That's not true. And I had a Chromebook, and Chromebooks don't have hard drives; they have cloud storage. When all I had to create content with the Chromebook. Uh, oh, and I got I have a mailing address, a neighbor's mailing address thing too. I'm sorry I don't still have my PO box and address in LA, but that went to be $61 a month as of 2001, and it's probably a hell of a lot more now. I would like to get another mail drop for the remaining time that I'm going to be here, but like I was going to use Volunteers of America, but some bitch was tipped off that I had a MAGA hat, or maybe she said MAGA hat, and somebody told her that I was a YouTuber, and she said I was media. And I guess they figured that if you're on YouTube, you're making a lot of money and you're a famous person. And if I'm a public figure, it might be to people that aren't locals, but here as a local, I'm just this either pesky person who has different political views than you, or street vermin because you're a cop or somebody that doesn't know any better, or I'm whatever you think I am, or maybe I'm, I don't know, but and it makes me nervous when people who live here find out about this channel, because then I feel that I can't talk the truth. And I should be able to tell the truth about my own life. Am I right? Assuming that it's interesting enough that other people want to hear about it. And I don't want to be arrogant. Well, Leathur at hotmail.com. Do you guys read the back of my channel at all? It has information on it and about me, which I used to have a big manifesto. And it was all about, describing, because since I talk about a whole lot of different things, I'm not one of these people that has a very narrow niche that they create, but just they talk about one thing and that's it. I can't be like that. When I started this channel, I didn't have a thing I wanted to talk about. I just want it to be, this is my opportunity to make videos about anything I want to. And I figure as long as my name's on it, I will always have that freedom. And that way I don't have to worry about, if I make a serious pivot, I have to worry about, well, confusing the people that watch me. If you're going to be confused, you're going to be confused anyway. But at least if you like me for me, which I think that's what most people want, unless they have a faceless channel, I would think they want to be appreciated for the differentness that they are. That everybody has a different way of presenting things, or whether it's your personality, which I think ideally it's a combination of personality and image, and where the setting that you do your videos in. And that's why I like to obviously reflect myself in the colors that I like to surround myself with, and the clothes that I wear and stuff. And when I go in interesting locations, like when I do a makeup tutorial on a beach. And okay, I'm not really doing makeup tutorials anymore, but because I have enough of them already. If you want to see a look, you can look at my videos. But I like to do them a lot of times in interesting places because you don't see many people doing a hair dye job on a beach or doing a makeup tutorial on the beach. And I did because I could. But you don't see many people doing a makeup tutorial in the middle of a casino at an empty coffee shop. But I did because I wanted an atmosphere. Speaking of atmosphere, what the fuck? A man and a woman arguing down the street. When it comes to men and women arguing, it's best to kind of stay out of things, unless, of course, he's hitting her and stuff. In which case, I intervene. I call. But I'm glad I didn't have to call about that crazy guy earlier. There's so many times when the cops come or the paramedics or whatever, they talk to the person for a few minutes and then they leave. And if the person was creating disturbance for a while, there was this guy who was yelling. He would stand maybe like across the street or across the street over there or across the street over there. And he would, like Sam Kinison. Any of you guys remember comedian Sam Kinison? This guy was yelling like that. Sometimes come like he was shaking a load shit out of his diaper, shaking, Sam Kinison, right? And you would call, hoping somebody would take him away, which that was, I figured if it was bothering me, it had to bother everybody. But it was the summertime. I figure a lot of people probably had uh, air conditioning, just drown things out. And they never would take him away. One time, the person was taken away, and like a half hour later, they were back. So it's like if a person they're crazy and they're creating a disturbance for people, why do we have to suffer because of what they are doing? And then for years here, we had a problem with people were treating across the street like a living room. All you needed was a couple of couches set out there. People would bring lounge chairs. They would take a bunch of milk crates and they would sit there, 5, 6, 7, 8 gangbangers sitting there, just having a gay old time and noisy. And after a couple of cocktails, because you could get the ready mix, it wasn't just beers. They were drinking whiskey and whatever. I don't know for sure what it was they were drinking, but they would get louder and louder, and just it was very bothering. And you couldn't call the cops on it because if you did, it wouldn't be too hard for them to figure out that you were calling. And it's one of the things that I'm a little concerned about is that I keep on hearing about how California has gotten very violent now, and some friends of mine who are sleeping on the streets and might still be sleeping on the streets out there have gotten stabbed out there and have gotten robbed. And I really don't want to be robbed of my equipment. Um, Speaking of equipment, I got this. I got to learn how to use. I think I showed you this yesterday, right? And I am going to be putting name and address stickers on the back of everything, even at the risk of compromising my quote unquote privacy. I would rather take the chance of having equipment returned to me. That's one of my deep regrets about that Amazon Fire tablet. That If anybody sees any of my equipment and has pictures of me in it, $100 cash fine. I mean, $100 cash reward. Hand it to me. Especially the Amazon Fire tablet has all those that footage of my dead cats. Serious. Some son of a bitch might have it somewhere. If you have it, it's $100 in your pocket. Give it to me. But this little kitty tablet, and I have a little case for it too. For years, I found this, and even though I don't love the color, but it'll totally. The only thing is, it doesn't have a zipper. I mean, it had a zipper at one time. It never had a zipper in there. But this fit in here as long as I put the. I love how it has a stand built in. It'll make it harder for it to slip out of my hand. I'm assuming it should be kind of sturdy because if it's for children, and it has a thing that allows you to access the internet. I may have to disable some parental safety things that might restrict some things. I don't know, but uh, are they going to start making them? What's going on with that? There. Anyway, I think I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something, but yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not having a senior moment or anything. Sometimes I'm on the verge of saying something and I stop myself because I'm afraid it's going to get me in trouble with the YouTube police. That's what it is. There's a lot of things I just bite my tongue because I think I have ideas that I think will be convenient for me, but there might be better ways of going about it. No, I didn't mean. I obviously I'm not. What I mean was sometimes when I hesitate in my speech, I think I'm sounding like a cross between Ozzy Osbourne and President Biden. No, no, it's not a young at heart thing. It's a young thing. Okay, you don't need to. Don't say too much because sometimes people end up getting in trouble. You know. But I'm thinking that I'm not going to just let this go on for hours and hours and hours, and I'm just going to be blabbing on and everything. And it's now exactly 1 hour, 8 minutes, 11 seconds, and counting. Right now, I have a chore to do. I have a big pile of clothes on my bed, and I need to start finding places to put them so that I can then wash my face and lay down. And whenever I wake up, then I will join that line, and hopefully I will get some goodies for the house. And then after that, then I will go and get some beads and come back. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need. Oh yeah, to end my hair, let me run this by you because these may actually have a name for them. I want to have something to finish off the ends of my hair when the beads are on so that they won't fall out. And these are rubber rings that I actually got at the 99-cent store, but there was 10 of them for $1. And at that rate, it would cost me $10 for 100 of these. That's ridiculous. And I have approximately, let me count my braids. I think I have 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's right. Uh, but to allow, you always want extra to allow for losing things that might not be at home where you can pick them up and wash them and stuff. But so I've gotten some loops from, when you open up a new thing of olive oil, sometimes there's a ring and you cut that. The only thing is sometimes there's a part of it that can snag, and you don't want things that snag your hair. Well, thank you. The only way to annoy me is uh, sometimes people get upset with me because they find out that I don't have as much time to give to them individually as like when I'm in a chat room, when I'm on live, that's one thing because I'm live, I'm doing a broadcast. But it's another thing if I talk to people in other channels, for instance, or say I'm talking to somebody on instant messenger or something, then we're having a conversation. I once upset one of my viewers because he was surprised. He was disappointed. We talked, I guess, for a couple of weeks, and he was disappointed that I wasn't asking him a bunch of questions about his life. And he made me feel bad because, first of all, I have friends who I've had for since I was a teenager. I have friends who I've had since I first lived in California who are very, 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 very dear to me, and I know them very well. And those are the people who I know them so well. Of course, I'm going to ask them questions about their lives because I know them really well. There's a big difference, and I shouldn't have to say this, between a person who you've known for most of your life, who you're very, very close to, and a person who you've just met. And a person who maybe watches your videos, they might feel like they know you, but they sometimes expect more of us than we're possible able to give. And then sometimes, like, you know what I look like because you see all my videos and you have a general view of me. And a lot of people I'm talking to, I've never seen your picture before. So I have no idea what you look like, right? And all of a sudden, you want to get a reaction on me. So I've had people send me a picture of them. And I guess maybe they're hoping that they're going to be my idea of Prince Charming or something. And if I don't react like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? Then I feel like I've really disappointed them because then all of a sudden they make a comment like, well, I could see I'm not your type. And then I feel like, oh, shit. And this happens so much to people who are content creators or who they're actresses or they're models or they sing in bands or they're maybe they're the newscaster on TV, or maybe they're the weather guy, or maybe they're a football player or a tennis player or something, or maybe even a teacher or something. Or either way, people might wish that they knew them better and maybe want some kind of a relationship, and it just gets really awkward and stuff. So anyway, yeah, we creators are often on our guard and stuff, and even though I do watch those TLC programs, and sometimes you think, boy, some people really do meet and stuff. But that's another reason why I think I want to go to California sooner rather than later. But the thing is, I have things I really need to do there. Um, I and this goes to a whole lot of people because I think I've accidentally hurt some people, and it's always accidental. The only time I ever want to hurt somebody is if I really need to punish somebody for really being a dirty bastard, and uh, and I really don't want to waste my energies with that because there's better ways of doing that. Like if I've been harmed in a way, I'll take compensation other ways. Like but I don't want to talk about negativity. I want to get some things done. But anyway, whatever these rings are called, something like this, isn't snaggy. Black would be great. Purple would also be great. But if I got enough of these to end my hair, a lot of those blue things were actually, let me show you. These are actually ring sizers. And again, having that color, I think, might clash with some of the beads that I'm getting. And so I don't want to use these anymore. So if they're affordable, maybe I will try to get them there if they even sell them. I don't know. I don't know if this is a thing for hair ending. I saw these rings on Temu, but they seem to only come like 8 or 10 of them in a package. And I'm trying to do this for cheaply. If I could actually, if the cheapest thing would have been what I got at the dollar store, I would just go that route. But when I got these, this was pre-pandemic, you know, And lately, I've been disappointed when I go to dollar stores. And I haven't even because I don't have the money to throw around. People do not, I haven't been out there with the guitar because the police are really being cunts. What they're doing to people, they don't catch the people that are panhandlers that are picking all the money off the tourists. But if you go out there with a musical instrument, there are certain cops that I guess I'm an easy target because I look like I can't defend myself. Like how am I supposed to defend myself when you're a police officer anyway? Anything you're thinking of doing, you can't do to them. Everybody wants to. There's probably nobody alive that hasn't met a few cops. They don't want to punch them in the face, but you legally can't do that. Even though I know a couple of people that have gotten away with it, but that's because they know that they're crazy, and if they know you're crazy, you seem to be able to get away with things. But it's not worth having that on your record for what you're known as in that case. It fucks things up for you. And I know people that deliberately played the nut roll to get on put on SSI in California so that they would have easy rent. Even though now rent's so high, I don't know if an SSI check's enough to pay your rent. But you know, there's a lot I could say about people that live in California, including my friends, because I've dropped a few hints that I'm headed out there. And let's just say I haven't gotten any Florida invites. So it looks like I'm going to be having to do things myself. Hi, Amir. I wish you had tuned in earlier because I have been getting ready to go off, but I have this. It's not probably the one you wanted. Uh, I have this. No, I have earrings in. Okay. And I have a nose ring that can get caught. Let me see if I have a. This is just for Amir. This is not the aura mask that you probably wanted, but ooh, and I just stuck my finger in my earring. Not good. If I take the bus, I'm gonna wear a mask. Well, I have red and purple KN95s, so I shouldn't have to spend any more money on getting any more unless I can get a KN95 in a different color. But red and purple, I wear a lot of. I have to represent. Wednesday, I'll get this my computer fixed. Or this is not the aura. Okay, gonna find where the aura is. This is the smaller of the two sizes I have. I can't. Not sure where the bigger size is. The bigger size would fit me better. I thought I had that other mask there. Oh, wait a minute. There might be. Let me see if I might have it here. This is a bag. I don't know that I'm bringing this with me because I think if I roll this thing around with all these stickers here, I think the Israel thing and the Trump thing would get my ass kicked there. I don't know. These are useless. Yeah, I sent him a picture. I sent him a picture of it. You know, when I got this, I didn't realize this is very well made. It has an adjustment here, so I can make it so I don't need to smear my makeup, which ideally I would have my face washed. Shouldn't be wearing makeup to sleep in, even though it depends on the situation. Oh, did you see this mug? I know you've seen the. This is a broken mug. It's my president. This is the same knife that I use for the pie. All right, I've got a big mess to clean up. All the clothes on my bed. Well, no, not all the clothes. I mean, I would like to get all the clothes off the bed, but realistically, that's not going to happen. If it hasn't happened in the last 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, it ain't going to happen now. But I need to do something with it because there's no room for me to even sleep. All right, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and I will definitely have a video uploaded today around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, something like that. Okay, I will talk to you soon. Bye.